Rock on, back in black, and ready to react for the game you guys have been waiting for. It's Vo versus Fatal1ty here in New York City. Gabriel David, Joe Miller, man, bam, Shazam. It's going to happen here in just a moment. We got like a 3-minute countdown on the clock. We've seen this matchup how many times? About 200 over the course of this 12-month World Tour, and it's about to happen again.
Yeah, indeed, this is the highly anticipated game that everyone loves to watch and everyone's come to love. We see this almost every single event, Vo and Fatal1ty, obviously the biggest rivalry in esports at the moment, and this time it takes on a whole new twist with $150,000 up for grabs.
That's right, number one, that's what they're playing for. Now, not today. What happens here is the man that gets taken down gets forced into the loser's bracket, and it makes it that much harder should they face each other again for the person in the loser's bracket to get anything done. Both Fatal1ty, both Vo have been in the loser's bracket situation before. It's not a position they like to be in. Really, it's a critical match. Whoever wins this one has a distinct advantage going into the grand finals in the Nokia Theater tomorrow, and that's what we're going to find out.
Indeed, and of course the person that does lose will go down and play the consolidation final, where they will have to beat someone else, of course, to get through into the grand final at the Nokia Theater. So if you lose this one, not only have you got to beat the winner twice in the grand final, but you've also got to play someone else before that, and that is a dangerous thought with both ZYZ and Sturmy still in this tournament. We've seen ZYZ earlier playing against Strider, and he's looking very, very hot indeed. So whoever loses this one is going to be a dangerous position for them to be in.
Yeah, we talked about that. ZYZ and Sturmy are the X-Factor players. You can never count these guys out. Top 5 contenders throughout the entire World Tour. That's happened ever from Turkey onwards through every country you can imagine, until at last and finally we are here in New York City, the capital of the world, and I'm looking forward to it. So again, the X-Factor, ZYZ and Sturmy awaiting, very likely awaiting the Fatal1ty and the Vo finals here, the grand semifinals, as it were, not to confuse you out there. All I can say is I'm excited, and I start to ramble. It's a matchup I'm waiting for. I just want to get in game and do it. Let's do it.
Indeed, and it's going to be interesting to see which maps these guys pick, actually. We see the usual Fatal1ty. I'm guessing he's going to be picking Meatless. That seems to be his strongest map. He seems to control that the most out of all the maps that he plays, and only recently he started to dominate so much on Meatless. Obviously, Sacred, a favourite map of both of the players. We could quite possibly see that, but what's most interesting, we're actually in the server at the moment, watching Vo warm up on DM Psycho. Now, again, that's an interesting concept, because we saw Vo in Italy play Psycho against Fatal1ty, and he did very well. And what I'm thinking here is that Vo is going to pull out that trick card and pull Psycho, which Fatal1ty most probably will be waiting for. He's not a stupid guy, you know, he knows what he's talking about, he knows how his opponents will play it, but will he be ready for such a freak map choice if Vo does pick Psycho?
Well, you know, I think if Vo does choose Psycho, Fatal1ty will be ready. There's only 4 maps in the rotation here. We have Psycho, Absinthe, Sacred, and Meatless. Now, with 4 maps, that being said, Fatal1ty, Vo, they're both going to be ready on whatever map choice the other chooses. Like you've said, Fatal1ty has grown incredibly strong on Meatless, previously known to be a very strong Sacred player, as well as Vo, but we haven't seen as much of that from these two players this particular stop, these semifinals, than we have seen in the past. So I would not be surprised if we do see a Meatless and a Psycho situation here in this matchup that's about to happen here in about 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, picking Sacred from both players would be somewhat of a gamble. Obviously, they are both very strong players on the map. They both favour it quite a lot. Obviously, Vo, really at the start of the tour, was seen as someone who couldn't be beaten on Sacred. Obviously, Fatal1ty changed all that, obviously in Dallas, where he pretty much won his first one against Vo there. And ever since, really, we've been seeing Vo Fatal1ty all the way through this tour. And we can see there Vo on the player cam looking... I'd say slightly worried at that one.
A little bit, perhaps. I mean, it's his traditional look. Sometimes he does have that look of confidence, and right now I think he is feeling the pre-game jitters, and he's going to have to shake that off. And I think we'll find out in the first moments of the match just who is initially going to be the strongest player. Now, these guys are coming off a night of rest, a night to really ponder and consider the losses and the victories they've had against each other, because we need to consider that both Vo and Fatal1ty pretty much, in general, in the latter half of the World Tour, end up in this position over and over again. And they have beat each other respectively, back and forth, back and forth. Ultimately, Vo has more victories than Fatal1ty in Painkiller, but Fatal1ty has come out very strong, and a lot of reports from the field tell me that he's playing the best he's ever played. Will Vo be as good? I think it's very likely. He's also demonstrating that he is on top of his A game.
Yeah, I mean, with both of these players obviously been boot camping hard before this tournament. Fatal1ty been boot camping with Beam and Zen, some of his other players who, again, those guys have been playing very well. So it just shows how much these guys have been really practicing. Vo obviously being in Oregon, and again, reports from the field say that Vo's been playing upwards of 5 hours a day, and even Vo said he's never ever played so much Painkiller in his life. It's come pretty easy to him, really, and as that skill level, the skill gap between the players starts to decline a little here, it's going to be interesting to see whether Fatal1ty can take down Vo. Again, I mean, Vo's really one of those players where I think he summed it up pretty well in Italy when he said in an interview, when he plays Fatal1ty, he can flip a coin to see who wins.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's an interesting factor as well. In the past, we talked about this. Fatal1ty is very well known to be the man that practices nonstop, and Vo in the past was a very instinctual player. He picked up PK, he spent a lot of time on World of Warcraft, a lot of time playing other games, and devoted a little bit of time to PK, and yet he dominated. So he had this instinct for the game, whereas Fatal1ty says, I'm going to become a student of this game. And now that Vo has done the same, that's what makes Vo dangerous here. And I think Fatal1ty is going to need to pull out an X-Factor card of his own to counter that and bring the eye of the tiger. I talk about that. Well, anyone that knows Fatal1ty knows the tiger that travels with him, the good luck charm. Don't think I've seen at this event.
It is there.
It is there, okay.
I can guarantee that he won't be playing without the tiger on top of his monitor.
I'm a little worried. You got to have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be pretty upset if anything were to happen to that tiger. I think it's almost part of the family now, He loves that tiger. It's worked out for him in the past, like throughout his gaming career. The tiger's been there, and let's be fair, it's worked most of the time for him.
Absolutely. So we're going to hop in game here in a moment. We are in warm-up mode. We'll get those game sounds activated for you. MTV Overdrive right here in New York City, powered by the Team Sportscast Network. I'm Gabriel David. This is Joe Miller. We've been broadcasting games for 5-6 years. We're going to keep on rocking and do it right now in game. Let's take a look from the viewpoint of the infamous Jonathan Fatal1ty Windle in warm-up mode. And it looks like, my friend, it's going to be DM Psycho.
Yeah, indeed. No votes to change the map, so it looks like we could see Psycho. And like I said, this is going to be an interesting pick. Psycho, somewhat named DM Spawn Kill by a few people. I quite like that one because it is the most true statement ever in Painkiller. This map only has 5 spawn points, and some of them are so close that you can literally get from one to the other in a few seconds.
5 spawn points in a map the size of a broom closet, which basically means you turn around at any given time, you respawn, and a spawn kill out there for the uninformed basically means you get killed and then come back in game with 100 health and no armor, and you're standing basically right next to the guy that just killed you.
Indeed.
So he's able to repeat and make a conversion on your corpse several times, and next thing you know, he's got 5 points on you when a moment later you had just been fragged for the first time.
Yeah, and the other thing about this map is you can super control this map with the fact that there are only 2 armor pieces. Usually you'll see the bronze, silver and gold, whereas on DM Psycho you only have the gold and the silver. So what you'll find one player will do is pick up that gold and immediately go for the silver, injuring himself to pick up the silver and then go back to the gold, and that can prevent your opponent from picking up any armor whatsoever. Obviously from the start you spawn with only 100 health, no armor, and that armor is so crucial. Obviously it gives you damage reduction as well as the extra protection as well. So if you don't have any armor and your opponent has the gold armor, then you're really in trouble.
Well, there are several factors to any 1v1 game, several factors here to PK. We've talked about that before, one of which aim can only take you so far. These players have all established a very decisive and skillful aim. Aim is key, but also prediction. Where to aim when you can't see your enemy, knowing where he's going to be, and finally, control. You talk about it, it's getting that gold armor, getting that silver armor, getting that mega health, and getting it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the land of MTV, from New York City, let's get it on. Vo versus Fatal1ty. Take it away, Joe Miller.
Indeed, the first map of this game is going to be DM Psycho, the pick of Fnatic Vo here. We see him off the spawn, picking up the gold armor, and immediately in the lobby area we see possibly the first blood here, and Vo is taken down by the rocket of Fatal1ty. Fatal1ty picking up the silver and the mega health from the spawn, and that's a very good position for him to be in, and he's going to get another one here as Vo comes through the teleporters from the outside. Fatal1ty already 2-0 up with only 30 seconds gone in this game, and here we see now Fatal1ty getting himself on the gold armor. He's got the mega health, the double stack action that he so desperately needs to keep on top of this map, and now what we'll possibly see is two things from Fatal1ty. He'll either go for the super control and go for the silver as well, or we'll see what he's been doing a fair bit and just camping out here, the spot that he's in at the moment, the upper white holes area, the gold armor spawning right where he stood. And what he can do from this point is just sit there. If Vo comes in, he can just sit there. If he gets hit, he picks up the gold armor automatically, stood on its spawn. The only time you'll probably see him move away is when that mega health spawns. We can see it's due to spawn any second now. And Fatal1ty and Vo battling out for this mega health. Fatal1ty got the upper hand, and just as the mega health spawns, he gets the kill, and it is now 3-0 in favor of Fatal1ty.
A very strong start for Jonathan Fatal1ty Wendell right here, utilizing some interesting strats, playing a little bit slow. You see him actually camping spots, like you said. Talk about camping that gold. He waited under the stairwell early on for Vo to hop down in front of him and took him out. Now inside White Halls, here's the battle. Oh man, Vo on down on low and shut down as Fatal1ty, again with the high ground, is able to decimate him and with a 4-0 lead get it done. But that's nothing. I've talked about this all throughout the World Tour. What makes Vo so dangerous is the fact that he is able to progressively grow stronger the more damage you inflict. The madder you make him, the meaner he gets.
Yeah, indeed, and he's one of those players, unlike some people who, when they go down a few frags, will get mad and will instantly start losing their game, but Vo seems to rise to the challenge of being behind by a few points. We can see him here, the mega health about to spawn in a few seconds' time. Fatal1ty knows this, you can see him moving out towards that, tries the rocket jump through that teleport, doesn't make it, and Vo gets in there, steals that mega health before Fatal1ty, going to go chasing after him now, through into the lobby area. Fatal1ty manages to evade him for a while there. He's going to sit out now on the silver armor spawn, and Vo will be back in for that gold and giving him the double stack. Let's switch over to see Vo. He does have 150-200. This could be the start of somewhat of a comeback here for Vo. As long as he can make the kills and keep on top of this gold armor, then by all means he can come back into this one. As you see him meet up here in the upper lobby, the upper white holes, and Vo registers his first kill of the game with that double stack under control. Makes it so much easier, then picks up the gold once again, and he's going to go and attack that silver armor.
Yeah, I think we've seen a change of motion and momentum here. The pendulum has swung back in the favor of Vo now as he's grabbed the gold, and control is now in his hand. And I think Jonathan knows this. You can see that he's fallen back to more of a defensive posture now because he realizes that Vo has got the white hall control. He's got his first kill, wounds himself there again to grab the gold. We saw Jonathan doing this earlier. Now with the silver, here he is waiting for the mega spawn. Here is Jonathan, can't get in, drops those nades, and Vo makes the grab. Double stacked, Jonathan in trouble, bounced around and dives for cover at 100 HP. Oh, nice kill right there, and a second on conversion. So Vo should have got that kill, but he over-pursued Fatal1ty up the stairs, who had the high ground, locked him down, and then on respawn, shut him down now with a 6-1 lead, 5-point ball game.
Indeed, a dangerous map, Psycho. Obviously, it's a very twisted, close map, and there's no shotgun on this one, so it's all a case of using those rockets and using the chain gun to try and take down your opponent, which is not an easy thing there. We see Vo getting two kills pretty quickly there, one off the spawn, and Fatal1ty going to have to settle back for the silver. This map can change hands so very, very quickly. It's literally just bam, and your opponent can get in there. The mega health gun is spawning in 4 seconds time. Fatal1ty in there as well. It should spawn in about 55 seconds into this, past the minute, should I say, and Fatal1ty having to back away. Vo going to be up there as well. You can see him on the spawn, picks it up at 50, and Fatal1ty struggling once again with no health, and Vo takes him down, making this now a 2-point game. Vo going to make a return now for the gold, and he's got a massive double stack here, chasing Fatal1ty down wherever he can. He wants to tie this game up as early as possible, doesn't want to be behind for too long, and he's going to go chasing after Fatal1ty now once
Absolutely,
again.
Vo on patrol here, search and destroy, grabs the gold another time. He's had control of the gold here for the past minute or two, and that is a lifetime in the world of PK. A nice passing stake right there. Oh man, just brings, like Scorpion style, get over here, and just decimates Fatal1ty close range, 6-5, just like that. A 1-point game. Vo is definitely back in control here, and I think in a moment, if the gameplay continues like this, we're going to see Vo take the lead.
Yeah, indeed, and he's only got 1 point to bring back at the moment to tie this game up. You can see him here, going to make a move now for the mega health, about to spawn in about 7 seconds time. Grenades being spammed by both players. Vo almost forced away from that mega health. He's not going to, though. He's going to try and trick Fatal1ty, move in just as it spawns, picks that up now,
nice
and then gets the kill as well, and it ties the game up. And now Vo going to have that double stack at 158-200, and it's tied up at 6-all. Fatal1ty in the lower white hole, just trying to gather some resources and something to attack Vo back with. I mean, at the moment he can't even get in on that silver armor. Vo seems to be forcing him away from that, and obviously with no armor against a person with a double stack there, as Vo finally catches up with Fatal1ty, making the kill almost off the spawn here as well. Fatal1ty down to 24 health. Manages to escape that time as well, though. And Vo, 1 point in the lead, is firmly in control of the armor and the mega health.
Yeah, Fatal1ty now finally able to get the silver. You talked about it earlier. Vo going for the mega control factor, getting gold and silver, controlling all the factors of the map. Basically robbing Fatal1ty of any chance to get anything done. In a game like this, with the best of the best in esports, you have to have that defense because your offense can only stand up so much when your opponent can aim just as well as you. Now Fatal1ty's got the low ground that Vo had previously, grabs that silver, wants the mega, comes up just in time, but Vo, oh man, I don't know who got it right there. I think they both passed it up. What happened?
Yeah, I think Fatal1ty actually got it, but immediately was hit by a direct rocket from Vo, then Vo finished him off as well with the stake, and then off the spawn as well. This is what we're talking about, 2 or 3 spawn kills in a row, and you can really start to build somewhat of a lead. We've got 3 frags at the moment in favour of Vo, and Fatal1ty's going to have to try and get in on the goal, going to have to sneak in there and hopefully catch Vo off guard. I mean, if he can time it around that mega health spawn, then that's when the time when he can do it. You can see both players in the upper white holes area, and Fatal1ty managing to get the kill there. Vo making a mistake, hitting a rocket against the wall, which took all his health and armor away. Then Fatal1ty finished him off, got him on the spawn, and this brings it back to a 1-point game.
Yep.
Fatal1ty back on the gold armor.
Yeah, that's the momentum switcher right there. Fatal1ty's now regained control of gold, and Vo is now on the run, and Fatal1ty just 1 point behind. Here it is, battle for gold one more time, close range combat leaves Fatal1ty down to 11 HP, and Vo capitalizes with only 13 HP remaining right there. Anybody could have come out on top, but ultimately Vo does, gets the gold, a couple SS grabs, or soul shard grabs, as it were. My little abbreviation for that to speak clearly and swiftly in game, and Vo now has control one more time. 11-9 now as Fatal1ty and Vo continue to lock horns here on DM Psycho.
Indeed, Vo got the timing on the armor, but you can see here as Vo tries to get into the low white holes area where he will go for that gold. Fatal1ty already covering that area with those grenades there, and once again drops down on top of Vo. He's going to get the spawn kill there as well in the Twisted Staircase room and tie this game up at 11 points each. You can see Vo now really struggling to get anywhere without Fatal1ty hunting him down. He's going to have to keep switching between these teleporters, and hopefully for him getting on some sort of armor there. Tries the stake as he sees Fatal1ty running away from the gold armor spawn. Vo still, after 30 seconds of dying, has not got any armor at all. I mean, he's got his 100 health from the start, he's got his rocket launcher, but he so desperately needs to get in, at least on the silver, maybe a cheeky grab on that gold, but it's all up to him to get something at the minute.
Yep, Vo definitely in trouble. Let's take a look at Fatal1ty. He's got the gold, he's had control of gold right now. Here is Fatal1ty, swings around for mega, it ain't up. Here's the chain gun fire, falls back, gets the mega, double stack, gold's almost down though, and Vo just behind him right there. Ultimately, Vo is able to outclass him in a tight, close-knit little circle-strafing dance of death. And, man, Fatal1ty just down by 1 point. And this is what we expected to see from these two fantastic contenders. An amazingly close game, 12-11, Vo with a 1 point lead, and 6:16 remains on the clock. At this point, it's still anyone's game, and it's going to be anyone's game until the last second ticks away.
Indeed, in Psycho, one of those maps that can be either really close or a really big deficit. It all depends on those spawn kills here as they meet once again on the gold armor spawn. Fatal1ty in there on the gold, but Vo forces him away. Vo only got the 70 health, 67 armor. He retreats and picks up that silver. It looks like the mega health gonna spawn in around 4 or 5 seconds time here. We'll switch to Fatal1ty as we can see he's moved back towards the gold, and I think it was on about 45 seconds at this mega health spawn, so both players going to go in there anytime shortly and try and pick up that mega. It looks like Fatal1ty, rather than going for the mega, decided to go for the gold. Wise move by him, as it puts him in a position where he can take down Vo as long as he gets those first rockets off and makes them accurate and hit him. If he hits Vo straight on, even with the double stack, he can take him down. Vo's already demonstrated. Here is the meet up across the upper lobby area. Vo using the chain gun, Fatal1ty using his rockets and backing away onto the gold armor spawn. He picks that up there. Vo just coming in to have a look, see where Fatal1ty is, decides against attacking, and then retreats in towards that silver armor. He's now got the mega and the silver as they meet in the lower lobby. Vo with a good rocket into the feet of Fatal1ty, flings him into the air using the chain, but once again Fatal1ty escaping without being taken down. Vo can go the other way this time and gets the kill, and it looks like Vo now going to be back onto the gold. This armor control is really just switching hands constantly.
Yeah, he's got his back to the armor now, decides to grab it, waiting for Fatal1ty, who you can see is actually paused for a moment, waiting here, spamming the grenades, waiting for the mega health on the 1 minute respawn timer. It should be up in just a moment. Standing by, here comes Vo from down below, and the exchange of fire. Fatal1ty has the high ground. Vo going up, bounced up on high. Fatal1ty in trouble. Who's going to get the kill? And Fatal1ty forced to run at 4 HP. Vo at 161. He had the mega. Fatal1ty knew he had to fall back in that situation, and wisely done. But Vo now trying to capitalize one more time and get another kill, and it looks like the battle continues to rage.
Indeed, and Vo making a little bit of a mistake there, decided not to pick up that gold armor. He thought that if he didn't pick it up, obviously on this map being so small, your opponent can hear you pick up that armor. He decided not to pick it up, but it backfired, and Fatal1ty got in on the gold and got the kill as well. But Vo seems to be back into this one. He's got the silver and that mega health as they meet there in the elevator shaft. Fatal1ty pinned in a small space, gets the stake, which hits Vo directly on, but doesn't get the kill. Vo going to chase him away once again in towards that silver armor, the twisted staircase area, and now Vo with 150, 100, the silver armor and the stock health as he comes into the white holes area. Fatal1ty going up the stairs slowly. Vo hits him before Fatal1ty knew what was happening, and Vo on the gold once again, and they meet up. This map is so frantic because it is so small. Only two main rooms with the armor and health. That is the white holes area and that twisted staircase room, and this is really turning into a battle of epic proportion.
Yeah, it's turning into a bloodbath here for Fatal1ty as Vo is just having his way with him up and down the halls of Psycho. 18-11 now. Several drive-by kills here in the past just several moments that you've been talking. Here's another one. Fatal1ty in trouble, bounced around. Vo is 43 HP, but ultimately gets the kill, grabs the silver, and a couple soul shard grabs to get his health back in proper shape. Fatal1ty definitely in trouble here. Cannot control anything at the moment. 100 HP. He wants the silver, sees it's not there. Take a little gander at the mega health, but that's also under the control of Vo. You can see it just now counting down. He's got the gold, and the mega health now expires with 100 HP remaining. He's up on top, sees Fatal1ty again, has got control, and it's that control factor here that is enabling Vo to continue to win. Yep, he's got the mega, and double stacked one more time. Fatal1ty quite simply cannot do anything against a double stacked Vo. He's got to regain control before anything else. Prediction aim does not matter at this point. It's all about control.
Indeed, and Vo once again sat in the upper white holes area, going to wait for that gold armor, not going to pick it up here. You can see he's decided to stop, not pick it up, and hopefully let Fatal1ty come in there, and obviously he's baiting him here. He's not going to pick up the gold armor just yet. You can see he's just not picking that up. Oh,
yep, there it is. Oh, shit,
and he takes him straight away. Although Fatal1ty did pick up that gold, Vo got off the first three rockets, and that bait really did work for him there. Got another kill, and another one as well with Fatal1ty on no armor off the spawn. It's now 21-11, a big lead for Vo at the moment, a good 10 points, and that's a fair old amount with 1 minute 47 to go. Obviously, with this map being so close to only 5 spawn points, it could change very quickly if Fatal1ty can get back in on this gold, but at the moment we don't see any signs of that. We can see Fatal1ty only with the silver, Vo on that mega health spawn. Fatal1ty with a good rocket, killing each other though. Vo actually killed himself, to be fair, and he actually took Fatal1ty down in the process. Vo going to get in on that mega, picks up the dead rockets, putting him at an instant advantage with his health and also his rocket launcher. Fatal1ty having to settle and pick up the gold, but no health. He can't do anything about that.
Yep, that's right. Ultimately, Vo able to get the mega, Fatal1ty the gold, but quite simply with 14 HP, does not matter how much gold you have, and now it's the runaway train. 25-11. Vo is a monster. We talked about this before. He is simply a demon possessed. He gets meaner and meaner as the game goes on, and that's what makes him so lethal. Jonathan is very steady, very even, and if you can overpower that, then you will overpower him, and that's exactly what Vo's doing right now.
Yeah, indeed, and his map choice seems to have worked out for him. It could have gone the other way. I mean, it could have backfired, but at the moment it's looking very good for Vo with 42 seconds remaining. But a stake there in those white holes area. Looks like Fatal1ty could be back on the gold. Let's switch to him and see. He's indeed sat on the gold armor, picks that up. Now going to go through into the lobby area, possibly pick up some soul shards, get his health back up to 100. No, he's going to go for the mega instead, picks that up as well. Now Vo's in trouble here in the lower level of that twisted staircase, but Fatal1ty backs away with 20 seconds to go. Vo's going to win this first map here in the winners bracket final, and it's going to set up an interesting second map.
The winners bracket semi-final. Well, winners bracket final
of the semi-final.
Of the semi-final. Yeah. Very complex. 7-6. Countdown's underway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Vanity points remain. We're going to find out. 27-12. Vo wins it in decisive fashion on the first map. DM Psycho. And Fatal1ty.
We're going to move over to Meatless now. Yeah. Fatal1ty's map choice, and this is where it's going to get interesting. Vo is a good Meatless player, but if he can't control it, then Fatal1ty unfortunately will dominate him. I mean, we've seen Fatal1ty dominate Vo before on Meatless.
Absolutely. So again, give us that score rundown for the first map.
27-11, the final score there in that first map of DM Psycho. So quite a commanding one for Vo. We can see he's looking pretty confident there, looking pretty happy. Now all he has to do is go over to his opponent's strongest map and do the same again.
Well, if anyone can do it, it can be Vo. We'll find out here in a moment. Welcome back, TSN Game Center, Gabriel David. Joe Miller here in New York City, and we are loving it. It's all come down to this. The grand finals yet to be determined. That happens tomorrow at the Nokia Theater. Right now, Web 2 Zone, Cyber Center, and we're about to hop back in game, so let's do it. It's game on. Let's get it done, Joe. Indeed,
we are live on Fatality's map choice, the second map of this best-of-3 game. It is now 0-0, just started in this game, and no one picked up the gold off the spawn. Vo in trouble with 32 health and taken down straight away by Fatal1ty, who's going to pick up that gold armor, leaving Vo with only the silver and the mega. Not a bad position for Vo to be in, but you know, it's not quite as good as that gold armor. If you can get the gold and the mega, that's when you start getting good things happening for you. Vo got no real armor for himself at the moment. Got the 186 off there after the mega health, but really that's not going to be enough here as Fatal1ty comes in, using the shaft to slow him right down, then finishes him off with a rocket, preventing Vo from escaping there by using that shaft. And here as well on the spawn, making it 3-0, an early lead here for Vo, for Fatal1ty should I say, on his home map.
Absolutely. Now here is Vo and Fatal1ty switching to Fatality's view, looking very strong. 4-0 lead here, making his way through the vents. Oh man, close range, comes out of that upper port and loading docks and standing right next to Vo. Nudges shoulders and then moving on.
Yeah,
very nice
they
stuff.
didn't even see each other there. And we can see here now Fatal1ty once again picking up the gold, got a thorough control of it at the moment. They meet here on the Mega Crate spawn. Fatal1ty forcing Vo down a level in the bronze armor room, and Vo once again escaping via that teleporter, and then comes back in for another chance at Fatal1ty and takes him down. He's now pulled this back to a 3-point game. Fatal1ty spawning in the silver armor room, managed to get Mega, but Vo hit him with a good rocket there, knocks him down to all of 2 health, and Fatal1ty desperately needs to pick up some soul shards, manages to do that, replenishing his health by 50 in that event room there, and now going to have to settle for the silver. 13 minutes 22 into this one. Vo on to Fatal1ty once again, takes him down, mid-air shotgun in the silver armor room. 2-point game. Vo is looking good.
He's looking very strong on Fatality's map choice here of DM Meatless, and the battle is raging. Here is Vo. He's got control of the gold, wants it again, comes up at about the 13:04 mark, makes his way into the bronze chamber, grabs a couple weapons here and there, spams those nades behind him in case Fatal1ty is following. Let's take a look and find out where Fatal1ty is inside silver. Bouncing up again, relegated to the silver armor. I think he'd prefer to have the gold, but he's got to stick with what, you know, he doesn't want that bronze, so he's going to go for that silver to counter the fact that Vo has the gold. Close range, inside. Lower tier now, shaft and rocket spam. Fatal1ty gets a kill and a 3-point lead, 5-2. A second kill with a nice shotgun, again utilizing the rocket to bounce Vo up and then sprays him against the wall with the shotty.
Indeed, and Fatal1ty now on that mega health is going to pick up the silver as well, giving him that 173, 150. Good situation to be in now as he goes and tries to get that gold armor. Vo already been in there and looted that gold though as they meet up once again in the bronze armor room. Fatal1ty using the shaft, slowing Vo down, preventing his escape, and then finishes him off with a shotgun, a fairly long range shotgun. Here it could be a spawn kill as well. Vo actually managing to escape the wrath of Fatal1ty, who seems to be on a bit of a roll at the moment with his double stack at 168, 200. Fatal1ty looking good to build on this lead at the minute. It's all up to Vo now to get in, steal the mega health, steal the gold, and hopefully for him start to mount a bit of a comeback. He is 5 points behind with 11 minutes 52 seconds remaining on the clock.
5 points behind here on the second map, though won the first map, DM Psycho in decisive fashion, 27-11. Early on, very close game, but Vo ran away with it. We talked about that on Psycho. That's what happens on that map. It can simply become a steamroller of doom just like that. What's the defining factor, do you think, here of Meatless?
It's definitely all about that gold armor control and the mega health. I mean, we can see here Vo picks up that gold and instantly he gets the kill. He's now going to pick up the mega, then go back towards the gold. He's got his timings down on both items now and can control them as long as he keeps his timing on and doesn't attack too much and leave the armor and the mega health open to Fatal1ty to steal from him. And we can see his double stack at 176, 200, which is a good position to be in there. Fatal1ty moving in towards the gold. Vo catching him up and just circle strafing around each other, using that jump pad to get some height and get above their opponent. Obviously no splash damage really whilst you're in the air. The only thing you can use is that shotgun or hope for something that hits mid-air, a rocket or a stake. But Vo forced away from the goal. Fatal1ty's picked it up. Well, that's not too bad for Vo. He's still got the 145 health, 161 armor, and he can still do it as they meet up once again. Vo using that shaft shaft, slowing Fatal1ty down. 1 rocket, 2 rocket, shotgun, rocket. He's not. Oh, there we go. He takes him down. Eventually, he was down to 64 health, in trouble, but he managed to get the spawn kill as well. He's now pulled this one back to a 3-point game with 10.5 minutes remaining in this map, which is, of course, Fatal1ty's map choice.
Yeah, definitely a critical moment right there. 2 kills for Vo0, then grabs the gold. Fatal1ty on low. Bam! Oh, Shazam! Taken down a 3rd time, and just like that, 2-point game, 8-6. Let's take a look at Fatal1ty here to see what he can do to regain control. Well, makes his way out towards gold, labors here and waits. Yep, it comes up at about the 10-13 mark, but there's Vo0 with the shaft, slowing him down, and then opens up with that shotty, and then finally finishes him off. Again, electrocution style. Good game and GG. 8-7. 8-all game as Vo0 is a monster and in control, grabs the silver, and he's going for mega control now. He wants that gold, spins around, sees Fatal1ty for a moment, opens up with shotty, back of the head, makes his way in that vent room, spams those nades behind him, and then prediction rockets up on high towards loading docks. There's the bronze. Won't need that. What does Fatal1ty have? Well, he's got the gold, and now he's got the advantage, but out comes that shaft. Slows down Fatal1ty, who is forced to grab that soul shard, and then makes his way up towards silver. Bounced off the jump pad here, and is forced to fall back. Can he get up? Yep, grabs the silver, but Vo0's down below, and who is going to come out on top? Here's Vo0 now, coming up, and bouncing down, and Jonathan up on top. Here we go. Vo0's falling back, chain gun fire. Ultimately, though, ventilation style as Vo0 comes out on top and gains the lead for the first time in this match.
Indeed, he's only got 37 armor from the gold now. He's going to settle for the silver. He knows that Fatal1ty's got in on that gold from his spawn. It's still 141, 150, so a good position for him to be in at the moment. Let's switch to Fatal1ty. We can see he does have the gold, and obviously the 200 protection and the good damage reduction that offers for him. And as they meet up once again outside in the loading docks area, Fatal1ty forced right over the top of that gold armor spawn with a rocket that hit the jump pad at the same time. He launched himself off it, flung him right over the top of the gold. That's on its spawn, and Fatal1ty this time is going to pick that up, giving him 97, 200, just buffing his health up, those extra points, using the soul shards from the vent room, and now going to go hunting after Vo0 and try and pull this game back to a tie. We can see him here in the silver armor room being hit by a shotgun from behind. That slowed him right down in midair and also removed a lot of his armor. He's down to 92, camping out on the gold though. He's going to pick that up before Vo0 gets in on him, and Fatal1ty can once again go with a comfortable bit of armor here. Only got the 100 health though as his shaft bears down onto him, using the chain gun. Awesome! That was super accurate there by Fatal1ty, using both the shaft and the chain gun. Slowed Vo0 down first with the shaft and finished him off with that chain gun.
Yeah, absolute control. We've seen his precision aim with the chain gun in the past, and Fatal1ty definitely known for that here. A battle again inside the silver just for a moment as he makes his way in the bronze and back out towards loading docks. Fatal1ty's double stacked, and he had 202 health, so he's looking very strong here. Vo0's in trouble, up on high, bounce low, rocket to the chest. Out of here, grabs that bronze, and then on up, wants the gold, gets that box of ammo, spins around, gets the gold with ease, and he's got control. Still double stacked one more time. Here's Vo0, 98 and 145 HP and armor respectively, now down towards that silver. It'll offer some protection, but not enough if Fatal1ty is able to whip out that shaft and finish off with the chain or go with that rocket and shotty combo that he loves so much.
Yeah, indeed, and now obviously this is the winners bracket final of the semi-final, so the winner of this one will go through into the grand final over at the Nokia Theatre, and at the moment Fatal1ty looking good to do it on his home map, but it's still very, very close. Vo0's managed to get in on the gold and then tie it up at 10 points all. Could be a spawn kill here for him as well. Fatal1ty pinned up there on the 3rd tier of the silver armor room. Vo0 gets the kill and puts himself into the lead another time, and I mean this is really changing hands. 1 point each, then the other person gains the lead, then it comes level, then the other one gets the lead. And that's how we will see this whole map go, unless someone can really start to dominate that, not only the armor and the mega health, but we've seen both players using that electro driver a lot. Now, if they can both control both the electro driver spawn and its ammo crate, obviously the big box of ammo that spawns once a minute, then that is a very good thing to take out of your opponent's game. But as we see once again, Fatal1ty tying this game up now at 11 all, 6.5 minutes to go, so we are a minute past the halfway mark, and it's already turning into an amazing map here, and Fatal1ty gaining the lead again, manages to hit Vo0 with a rocket after slowing him down once again with that shaft, and this shaft is turning to be a real crucial part of both players' game. And like I said, if one player can dominate and hold both the electro driver spawns, obviously the weapon itself and that big box of ammo that contains the only ammo source for it on the map, then you can really take a big element out of their opponent's game.
Well, you talked about that before. The Electro Driver has the factor of slowing you down and shutting down your movement. Movement is one of the 3 keys of the game, and you've got to have it if you're going to survive. If you can't move, you're going to die, and that's what's going on here. Fatality realizes that, opens up with Shoddy towards the vent, still double stacked, so he's playing a very search and destroy style mission here. He's got control. He knows this. Vo0, he's got the gold, so really he could bring this fight to Fatality and just out-aim him right now, but it's not going to happen like that. Forced into a corner and then slapped aside as Fatality takes it 13-11. He needs to win this map to push it to 3, and if he can do that, then, well, it's still anyone's game, but this is critical for Fatality. If Vo0 wins now, he pushes Jonathan down into the lower brackets, and then he can simply await the winner at the Nokia Theater.
Indeed, and obviously if this map is won by Fatality, we'll go to a coin toss to see which map we'll play. Obviously the unplayed maps, Absinthe and Sacred, 2 very interesting maps for both of these players. Obviously Sacred being the favourite of pretty much both of them here. Vo0 used to be pretty much known as the Sacred player that no one could hardly ever beat. Fatality pretty much changed that though. So it's going to be interesting if that happens. I mean, we can still see here that it is a very close round. 14-10, only 4 points in it at the moment. Fatality is still up, but as we see, Vo0 gets in on the gold, then the Mega, then hits Fatality with a stake, knocks him down to 20 health.
Nice
but
shot.
Fatality got the height on him, and really not much that Vo0 could do at that point. And he's fallen once again, 15-10. Fatality struggling, manages to pick up the gold once again though, and he's now a good 5 points in front with 4 minutes 20 seconds remaining. This is his map choice, and he's doing very well on it.
No, he's doing exceptionally well. Like you said, he took that unanticipated stake to the heart, was able to stay alive with about 15 HP, and it is really about the high ground, and Jonathan's been utilizing that, staying above Vo0 to shut him down. Nice kill right there. It's Fnatic. Vo0 is shut down by Fatality. A 6-point lead here with 3:55 remaining. So I like what I'm seeing from Fatality. His control, his patience, his dominance here on the high ground is yielding him this potential victory in the second map. And I think that experience that Jonathan has is what enables him to do this. You know, he's taken a loss, he's taken hits before, he's fought in nasty situations, and he's able to stay calm under pressure, which is the key here. And he's doing that on his map choice, which of course is an advantage. But let's not take anything away from Vo0. He is very strong on Meatless.
Indeed, and it's still 6 points in front. Fatality struggling to get in on the goal. Vo0's got it more than him at the moment. Let's switch to Vo0 as we can see that he gets hit with a good direct rocket from Fatality, forcing him to retreat. That could have been a moment where Vo0 could have possibly dragged some points back, but unfortunately for him, had to retreat being hit by the direct rocket. Now he's still got the gold armor, only 34 health though. That's nowhere near enough to go attacking. He needs to pick up the soul shards that are dotted around this map. There we go, one spawns right in front of him in the bronze armor room. He picks that up. 59 health now, and a Fatality there on the gold armor spawn. Vo0 attacking him, takes him down with that electro driver. We hear a shout in the background. That sounded like Vo0 to me shouting, come on. He's really up for this one. He knows that if he can pull this one back with 2:44 to go, then he can move straight into the grand final over at the Nokia Theater and a guaranteed $100,000 if he can just win this last map and get this comeback of 5 points going. 2.5 minutes as he meets up with Fatality once again, catches him in the loading docks outside. Fatality running rings around him at the moment, but Vo0 trying and gets the kill eventually, goes through the teleporter outside and underneath that gold armor, takes down Fatality, makes this now only a 4-point game, and Vo0's not going to stop here. He's going to keep moving as fast as he can and try and take down Fatality as the meet once again in the vents. Vo0 gets the kill, and it's now 3 points, 2 minutes 8 seconds. Can the Dutchman do it?
Oh, he can. We're going to keep it locked on the cheese fighter right there, as he's known in the forums. Here is Vo0, 16-13 with momentum in his favor. Inside the fence now on patrol. Sees Fatality, not able to score the kill. With 1:52 remaining, plenty of time to get it done. Will Fatality be holding out his spawns? Very likely at this point here. Also, very likely to play the evasion game. Vo0's going to have to look for him, because Fatality's not going to be all that aggressive at this point here. Why risk getting taken down and then spawn killed when you can simply evade evade, wear the clock down, and win the map and force it to 3. So here's Fatal1ty now doing just that, and Vo in patrol, not double stack, Mega Health and Silver Armor. He wants that gold, goes for the SS, won't need it with that Mega Health. Looking for Fatal1ty, who is now just behind him, always at his 6. Now, bam, out comes the shaft, Fatal1ty in trouble, bounced around, let's take a look. Oh, 2 HP, now to 27. He narrowly escaped with his life, and the fact that Vo could not close the deal on that real estate transaction means this could be a win for Fatal1ty.
Yeah, if Vo would have just sneezed on Fatal1ty, then he would have probably died. Only 2 HP. Really, really lucky to get away from that when he's got just under a minute now as the clock goes red to get these 3 frags that he needs so desperately here, Vo. And Fatal1ty just seems to be playing a very, very good running game from him at the moment. He's just moving through into Silver, picking up the soul shards here as Vo sees him, slows him down with the Electro Driver and gets the kill. 2 kills to make up now. 38 seconds. Lots and lots of time as Vo picks up that Mega Health, picks up the Silver. He's going to go attacking. Let's switch to Fatal1ty and see if he can actually evade Vo. He's got the gold, so he's in a good position to do this. He's got 30 seconds. Vo desperately needs to catch up with him here. Fatal1ty playing a running game, moving through into the bronze armor room, just switching out, making a very, very unpredictable movement path here, and trying to trick Vo as Vo meets him up once again. 40 seconds remaining. Fatal1ty
1 point game.
Fatal1ty losing it. Is Vo going to be able to make this last kill? He's got 9 seconds, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, and he sees him there in the vent room. Is he going to be able to do it here? 3 seconds. Fatal1ty is going to win this second map there. Oh, wow. So very, very close. Fatal1ty wins that one. Vo just caught up with him. He was so unlucky. You can see the frustration there on Vo's face.
The blue screen of death.
And the blue screen of
Bill
death.
Gates strikes again. But Fatal1ty is near. Let me look at Vo. Look at the players. Are just absolutely
so close
stunned.
to that one.
Vo scratching his head in frustration.
Yeah.
You and I completely winded here at the Game Center. First map, Psycho, 27-11. Vo wins that one. Fatal1ty, though, able to just eke out a victory, 15-14 on the second map of DM Meatless. We're going to be heading off to a coin toss here, and we do have Justin in the field. Let's see if we can. Well,
there's the coin.
The coin fell under the table.
There's the coin.
We're going to find out in a moment as everyone leans over.
There we go. Let's see what we've got. It's Sacred, so we will be moving to Sacred, possibly the most interesting map we could have had. Both players very, very strong on Sacred. This is going to be one hell of an interesting game. Obviously, this is the 3rd and final tiebreaker map. Whoever wins this one will be through to the grand final over at the Nokia Theatre.
Yep. DM Sacred, neutral ground for these players here who have the talent to shut anybody down on any given Monday, as it may happen to be now in New York City, and I think across most of the world, unless, well, I don't know. You live like England. Australia, it might be Monday, Tuesday now or something. I don't know. We got Vo now gearing up once again from the Fnatic roster. He's been a dominant force over these countless stops of the 12-month World Tour extravaganza hosted by the CPL. The Cyber Athlete Professional League, and esports has come to play. Again, out there, if you guys are uninformed, these are the best players in the world right now playing, Vo and Fatal1ty. These guys have been at it, gamers for years. Fatal1ty definitely, I think, a little more recognition. Vo is the upstart, but with the mad skills that has earned him respect and fame worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming to Painkiller off a fairly successful Quake 3 background anyway, not quite as successful as Fatal1ty. Obviously, he's moved into 2 or 3 different games. Obviously, Unreal Tournament, he played Counter-Strike for a while. Obviously, Quake 3 was the master at. So, Fatal1ty really coming off with that little bit more recognition, but in the end, Vo has really come through in Painkiller, and it's just setting up this amazing game that we've seen so many times before. And obviously, now we're going to move through into this 3rd tiebreaker map of DM Sacred, which, like I said before, was one of Vo's. Well, he was considered the master of Sacred. He was considered unbeatable on Sacred for a good while. And obviously that's changed now. He has been beaten on it before. Fatal1ty himself has beaten Vo on Sacred. So this just sets up one hell of a clash. And one clash which is worth a lot of money and also a lot of pride.
Let's tell the people out there exactly what they're fighting for here. First place, $150,000 for the first place champion of the CPL World Tour Grand Final. That's going to happen at the Nokia Theater. $100,000 for second, and $70,000 for third. But right now, it's third map. It's Vo and it's Fatal1ty. It's DM Sacred, and let's get it on. The game is on, and let's make it happen. The magic starts right now with our player spotlight on Fnatic Vo. Take it away, Joe.
This is a very, very big game for both players here. The final map, the tiebreaker map. Let's see what we've got. 200 armor from Vo from the beginning. He picks up that gold. Obviously, we're back to a 3 armor situation in this map, but it's all about, once again, controlling the gold and controlling the mega health. Vo at the moment got control of the gold. We're going to hear it. We're going to see the first blood here as Fatal1ty meets up with Vo, forcing Vo down into the central teleportation room and down to 16 health. That is not much whatsoever. Picks up the 2 soul shards from central teleportation, then gets the bronze armor from that room as well. Now Fatal1ty going to move around.
Oh, nice shot.
Wait for Vo to come in, which he does indeed. Managed to hit a good rocket into the feet of Vo there. Gold armor on its spawn point. Fatal1ty possibly in trouble, but no. Manages to get the kill, takes down Vo, and Fatal1ty going to pick up that gold armor. All important as he brings in the first blood of the game. 1-0 in favor of Fatal1ty as they meet up in the mega health room. Fatal1ty got the height advantage here. Vo going to move onto the mega health spawn, and so unlucky for him, just as he moves off that platform, the mega health spawns. He could have survived that last couple of rockets there if he'd have picked that up. Unfortunately for him, Fatal1ty had already fired those rockets off and he got the kill. Fatal1ty now double stacked at 2-0, 13 minutes 38 remaining.
Yep, he's got the control now, spamming those grenades. An excellent prediction from Fatal1ty, as expected here on DM Sacred. Definitely a home turf for both these guys. You talked about this in the past, though, that Vo, as we're going to take a look at our player spotlight on him, previously unbeatable online or on LAN. I mean, he just could not be beat on Sacred. It was his home stomping ground. Fatal1ty changed that and brought in that X factor that has been such a word that I've loved to use here this past 2 days in New York City. Here's Vo one more time, up on high, wants that gold. He now has the last remnants of silver, and he sees Fatal1ty, bounces up, grabs the gold, and now in pursuit. Bam! Shoddy and Rocket opens up behind him and then falls away, makes his way out towards that Mega. Where is Fatal1ty? Well, spins in, up on high. Who's going to get the kill? There's the Mega now spawning just to the right-hand side. Vo wants it, sweeps in, and gets it. Oh, but whittled down from behind as Fatal1ty opens up with a chain gun and says, good night.
Good night indeed, and it's now 3-0. Vo getting the gold off the spawn, and that's very good news for him. He just needs to build up some more momentum here, possibly getting on that mega health as well. He got it last time, so he knows the exact spawn times. Fatal1ty will be in there challenging once it spawns as well. But at the moment, he's down 3 points, Vo, and he really needs to start making something of it as quick as he can. He's there on a lower level to Fatal1ty, which makes it a lot more difficult, but he manages to pull him down from the air with the shotgun, gets the kill there. He didn't see him spawn behind him. That was a possible spawn point, possible spawn kill for Vo there. He managed to miss Fatal1ty though. Got the gold, which is the most important thing of that. He can still build on getting a kill. Fatal1ty moving up that broken spiral staircase there. Vo spotted him as he moves up, hits him with a rocket, and that splash damage finishing Fatal1ty off. Now only a 1-point game. Vo going to get another kill here if he can just get hold of Fatal1ty. If he's going to get him in the air there as Fatal1ty lands right at Vo's feet, hits him down. And then Vo
double kill in that situation.
That was an interesting one. And then Vo off the spawn, instant reaction stake there. Just there. Oh, but Fatal1ty hits Vo from behind. Spotted Vo running away in a straight line. Not what you want to do when your opponent's behind you. Fatal1ty simply had to click his mouse and take down Vo once again. But this game is still tied. 4 points all at 11 minutes 24 seconds. 117, 200, Fatal1ty's current stats. Vo, let's take a look at him. We will in a moment after we see this final confrontation.
Nice shot.
Fatal1ty making another kill, puts himself into the lead.
Yeah, really anyone's game at this point. This is, like I said, neutral ground. Very even and a very balanced map. That's what I like about Sacred. It's got it's not too small. It's got the nice spawns of the gold, bronze, and silver, and the mega health, of course. And just some fantastic action happens here on Sacred. Always been a crowd favorite, always been a player favorite, and it's going down here on the third map. DM Sacred right now. Fatal1ty in pursuit, goes after Vo down through portal and towards central now, whittling him down. Oh, opens up, and Vo down to 21 HP. Here's Fatal1ty to close the deal and gets it done, 6-4. So nice precision and nice execution from Fatal1ty to continue to pursue Vo, who is not able to evade.
No, I mean, a good 2-point lead at the moment for Fatal1ty. Vo being having to settle for the silver armor and the 150 protection that brings, just moving into Mega there, picking up the shotgun, and he's going to move now possibly into the gold armor room. Indeed he is, as he sees Fatal1ty though and decides to change his mind. Good, smart play by Vo, doesn't want to engage too much there. He goes in the other side though, Fatal1ty picking up that gold, and Vo having to miss out on it once again. Is he going to be able to get the kill though? Gets up high, getting the height advantage above Fatal1ty as they meet up once again behind that teleporter in the central teleportation room. But once again, Fatal1ty evading him, and Vo settles for that bronze armor. Going to make a move on the gold here. Fatal1ty making that same move as well, using the chain gun to good effect, takes down Vo, and it's now 7-4, 3-point lead for Fatal1ty at the moment.
Yeah, one thing we've not seen so far is a telefrag. It's probably going to happen at one point or another, and someone's going to throw their headphones off in frustration. 8-4, here's Fatal1ty now really just controlling this map. He's got the Mega, he's got the gold, double stack situation, DS galore. Opens up, spams those nades up towards where the gold's going to spawn, and Vo is able to sweep in and grab it like a thief in the night. Gets it done at 44 and 200. The SS grab now to 59, makes his way through some grenade spam from up on that third tier where Fatal1ty was waiting for him, and a nice stake nade in prediction. Fatal1ty ain't there, but still shows that decisive aim that these guys have. Now, Fatal1ty and Vo on even ground. Vo drops down below. Vo wants that gold, but Fatal1ty's able to grab it here in Central. Now down to 31 HP. Oh, shut down Shoddy. Didn't even see it coming. Left-hand flank. Good night.
Yeah, indeed, and a good move there by Vo, just chasing Fatal1ty down the whole hog through those teleporters and managed to get the kill, worked for it a lot and managed to get so badly needed that one. He's now going to get back on control of that gold armor. Let's move away and see what Fatal1ty's got to do. He's going to pick up the gold there, surprising. I thought Vo would have the control. I'm guessing that Vo's gone away and picked up the Mega. There we go, picks that up as Fatal1ty comes in as well. Too late though, manages to rocket jump away, not actually getting away. And Vo finished him off. I thought Fatal1ty's rocket jump would have carried him away from Vo, but not quite enough. Vo just chopping him down with a shotgun, finish him off, and it's now a 2-point game in favour of Fatal1ty, but Vo not going to leave it here as he rocket jumps up for that gold armor. Fatal1ty making the same move as well, but Vo managing to chase him away from that gold armor, picks that up, and then goes in pursuit once again as Fatal1ty having to settle obviously for the silver.
Nice shot
and as he drops down in towards the teleporter, Vo hits him with the shotgun right from behind, makes the kill, and here as well off the spawn. It is now a tied game at 7 minutes and 57 seconds.
That's right, 8-all. And Vo grabs the gold, and he is looking very strong. Both of these players just going at it like heavyweight boxers here in Madison Square Garden. Right now in New York City, capital of the world. Here's Fatal1ty at 95-112. Bouncing his way back towards Central, spams with the grenades and rockets, makes his way towards Mega. Oh, Vo's waiting for him right there. Chain gun and rocket to the feet, out of here. See ya. I wouldn't want to be it. Fatal1ty now down 1. Vo takes the lead, 9-8. Double stack situation, rocket jump up. Can't get that gold, 72 armor, and man, they are just going for the telefrag, and Vo gets the first telefrag of the game, and you can hear him scream out in the background as he just obliterates skillfully Fatal1ty with the telefrag.
Indeed, and we said we were going to see one of those, but as Fatal1ty there, just clawing one back, using his stake off the spawn, Vo chasing him through the teleporters. Obviously, Fatal1ty would have been happy with the telefrag there, but finished it off with a stake instead, and this time it forces Vo to pick up that silver armor. Fatal1ty, as we see, has got the gold armor, and now he's possibly going to wait around for this Mega health to spawn. You can see him just hanging around in this room, just checking out where Vo could possibly be, or where he's going to come from next, and Fatal1ty really just taking it slow at the moment. I mean, he doesn't want to risk losing control of this gold armor. That's about to spawn there, and Vo gets in, picks it up before Fatal1ty. Is Fatal1ty going to be able to stop him from getting away? Looks that way, bounces him around in the corridors, but they kill each other there. The score now still a 1-point game at 11-10 in favour of Vo, but Fatal1ty with the stake ties this game up at 11-all. 6 minutes 23 seconds, but Vo returning the favour in the broken spiral staircase room, and then picks up the gold. Vo won in the lead again. This has turned into somewhat of a hectic third and final map.
It really has. I had MTV ask me actually earlier, what's been the best map you've ever seen in the course of the World Tour? I think it's happening right now. 13-11. Here's Vo again with our player spotlight on him. Oh, a little shotgun action. Fatal1ty dancing in and out that portal, trying to get something done. Vo's there. Yeah, Fatal1ty really doing a good job of evasion here. Left at 100 HP and no armor. Doesn't have bronze, no silver, no nothing. grabs that silver. It's going to help a little bit against the incoming damage of Vo right now. Once the gold spins up, upper tier grabs the rocket launcher. There's the rocket prediction from down below. Vo knew exactly where he was going to be. He knew the Fatality wanted that gold and was going to go for that rocket in that situation. 97-108 for him. Gold armor grab for Vo. Oh, knocking Fatality down, in trouble. Gets the gold a second time, but cannot capitalize on a close range crucifixion, which is a word that I have no, it's a crucifix. 13-12. I just developed that. My first time ever broadcasting PK with you, my friend. Crucifixion. 13-12. 14-12 now as Vo takes the lead here, and he's got 5-12 remaining to hold on to that lead. Can Jonathan come back? We'll find out in a moment.
Indeed, everything's possible here, but Vo's starting to build up a lead, and unfortunately for Fatality, he seems to be spawning right in front of Vo every single time there. A good couple of spawn kills puts Vo a good 4 points into the lead here. You can see he does have 170 of his gold armor left, 107 of the mega left, so I mean Vo's still in a very good position. He's going to move now through the teleporters. Fatality going for that telefrag and hopefully cloning himself back into this one. I mean, we can see Vo picking up the gold once again and possibly going to wait around for the mega health to spawn. Fatality really not in a good position with only 150 silver armor there. Vo predicting where Fatality is going to be and then dances around him, not managing to get the kill this time, but does force Fatality away from that gold armor spawn and allows him to pick that up once again. Fatality now going to sit around in that mega health spawn. That's going to spawn any second here. Fatality dancing around again, and he's going to be taken down. Vo picks up that mega health. Let's switch to Vo. We can see he does have the 181 from the mega, and then off the spawn takes down Fatality as well. It's now a 6-point lead for Vo as he picks up the silver. Going to make a track back in towards the gold, just flinging himself around on that gold armor platform. Picks up the gold, giving him the big mega stack, the big double stack, should I say?
And there's the telefrag yet again as Fatality puts his back to the portal and goes through it. Vo pursues immediately and gets the kill. 19-12 domination situation as Vo is making it happen here on the third map. Again, on Psycho, 27-11, Vo won. Vo very strong on the second map, actually looking a little bit stronger than Jonathan, but Jonathan, Fatality Wendell, able to eke that one out, 15-14 now, and we turn our attention back to the third map on TM Sacred, and what do we have here? A score now of 20-12, and Vo is feeling good with 3:22 remaining. He has grown incredibly mean here in the last part of this map, and I know there's got to be a smile on his face right now, as it's pretty certain he's going to be awaiting somebody at the Nokia Theater tomorrow.
Indeed, but a nice stake there by Fatality as Vo tries to go up to the gold armor platform and just getting that stake right from behind. Wasn't expecting that one at all, but he's managed to pick up the mega health from the spawn. Also the silver giving him 192, 150 at the moment. He's going to make a move for the gold. Obviously Fatality will have that. Let's take a look at him and see if he can make somewhat of a comeback here at 194 armor, 99 health, so it is possible for him at the moment. He gets hit with a good rocket though, flings him up in the air, but again he manages to get the gold armor. Vo really needs to get back in on this gold and try and hold Fatality away from it. He's got a good lead here for Vo, and with 2 minutes 34, you'd probably say that Vo could take this one as long as he keeps the defense on that gold and doesn't let Fatality get into that. You can see here Fatality struggling at only 30 health, no armor, sat on the silver armor spawn, going to wait for it to pop up. That's going to come up any second now, and possibly taking a bit longer than they really wanted for him to for that silver armor to come up there, but eventually retreats off into the gold armor room. Going to try and make a grab at that. This is where Vo needs to really step in and stop Fatality from picking up that gold, because if he does, that could lead to a switch in the armor control here, and it looks like Fatality going to pick up that gold. This could be interesting. If Fatality can now pick up the next kill, then they could quite possibly come back as they meet up here in the mega health room. Fatality being flung around once again, but Vo nonetheless gets the kill anyway.
Yep, 22-13. Despite, as we mash those numbers together, that was something. Vo really just, Fatality playing a very calculated game in that portion that you were just describing, trying to get the gold, grab the silver, had to wait for it. He was trying to build some kind of defense so he could stage an offense, and it simply did not work out. You predicted the call inside the mega health room in that hallway, that's really where it was going to go down. The momentum changer now at 124, 23-13. Vo showing no signs of letting up. He's simply laying on the heat and laying down the smackdown. 25-13. Jonathan, you're going down. I think Vo is going to be heading on up to the sky, my friend, waiting at the Nokia Theater tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed, and he's got a lot of a bigger lead here. I mean, Fatal1ty is going to struggle to come back into this one. We're just about to go into a minute, but Vo0 there being taken down. Let's go back over to Fatal1ty, see what he's got. He's going to rocket jump up onto the gold armor spawn and pick that up. He's got 68 health, which he quickly picks up a soul shard and puts himself up to 85 there as he gets hit with a shotgun, but takes down Vo0 on the silver armor spawn there, crucify him as he flicks him up in the air with the rocket launcher, but only 42 seconds in this one. He's got 10 frags to make up, and Fatal1ty really is going to struggle to this one. Obviously, Vo0 now going to run around this map as quickly as he can. If he does get taken down, he's going to hold out his spawns, but nonetheless, Fatal1ty not giving up, and with these last 30 seconds, I think we can safely say that Vo0 is going to be moving through to the grand final.
A safe prediction now in garbage time, 26-16, your current score in this situation. And man, what a game this has been. In 3, the countdown is underway, and we'll just save the grand fanfare here for the next 10 seconds or so. But Fatal1ty and Vo0 playing an excellent game, and GG is going to be exchanged in 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Congratulations, Vo0 wins it in 3, 27-16 on the third map, DM Sacred. Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, an awesome performance there by Vo0, and I mean, he's come out very strong there in the third map. Almost took Meatless, who was so very close. In fact, he was in the same room as Fatal1ty right at the end point of that game there. Managed to bring it on to Sacred. Looked a bit ropey at the start. Fatal1ty got a good lead on him, but then Vo0 obviously got back in there on the gold and what have you. Came back into this one, you can see him there.
There's Vo0.
He is being interviewed after his victory. He looks very happy. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, well, there's a look of relief as well from that fantastic contender who has been just a grand champion of Painkiller throughout the World Tour that has just spanned countless countries as you now return to the TSN Game Center here in New York City. I'm Gabriel David along with Joe Miller, and we are on MTV Overdrive, powered by TSN at www.tsncentral.com. You guys just watched the two best players in the world, Fatal1ty versus Vo0. There's Fatal1ty. He's taken a loss in stride, and I think he knows he's been in that loser's bracket before, and he's going to have to fight a really hard match. He has some people to take out, though, ZYZ and Sturmy,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, who possibly await him in the loser's bracket, and whoever wins in the loser's bracket is going to go off to the Nokia Theater to face Vo0, and that's a matchup of the ages, my friends, a matchup that no one would want.
Indeed, and obviously Vo0 now, as he progresses through into the grand final, is guaranteed $100,000, and he's going to be there at the Nokia Theatre contesting for that extra $50,000 and the extra bit of pride that comes with that, being the world champion of Painkiller. He's been pretty much undisputed, the champion so far. Obviously Fatal1ty beating him a couple of times, and obviously Stellan beating him as well, Strider beating him on occasion. But this time I think Vo0 is looking so very strong. He's practiced so much for this one. He wants to win so badly. I think he's looking very strong for it, and it's going to set up a very interesting final game.
We've got some other great stuff coming at you today as well from Web2 Zone, the Cyber Center here in New York City, having a great time. You guys stick around. Gaming's come to play. It's evolved. Esports is here, and we're going to keep it rocking for you. Your esports commentators, Gabriel David, Joe Miller. We'll be back in live in a moment. Got some trailers for you and some esports updates from Intel and NVIDIA. Stick around. We call the shots.